welcome to Crystal's Clean Kitchen. I'm Crystal Beaudry and we have a super exciting recipe for you today. Today we're gonna be making, wait for it, tacos! Yay for Taco Tuesday! Now I know my family loves tacos. In fact, they want them all the time, so maybe we should call them everyday tacos or something. Anyways, it's going to be delicious. So we are going to make a couple different variation of tacos. We're gonna be making some beef tacos, some chicken ones, and that way we'll have some leftovers for later on in the week. When you get home from work and you don't feel like cooking something healthy, you'll have something in the fridge and that way you'll make some better choices. Okay, so let's get started. Now I have two different kinds of meat here. I have some chicken and I have some beef chuck pot roast. Now I got that from Costco. It comes in two different slabs, which we're gonna use one slab, which is kind of a lot of meat. But like I said before, we are going to be having this for some later meals in the week, so that's okay, totally okay. Okay, so I'm gonna be using the Instapot. Now, if you guys don't have an Instapot, seriously, you need to go out and get one. And if your husband says, oh, honey, you don't need another gadget in the kitchen, just tell him, oh yes, I do. Don't you want tacos? Ask me how I know. Anyways, so you're gonna put the meat into the Instapot. You're gonna add a cup of water. You're gonna put the sealing, or this top part onto sealing. Then you're going to push the pressure cooker button and you're gonna put the time for 55 minutes. Now, that's kind of a long time for the Instapot, but with beef, if you put it that long, it will shred really nice and easy and it will be a lot easier for your tacos. Okay, so for our spices, we used salt and pepper, of course. I used some onion powder, and I also used these ones from Spiceology. This one's Adobe honey, and this one is garlic herb. If you haven't checked them out, they are delicious. Now you could also use some Italian seasoning. You could use, if you wanted a little spicier, maybe some cayenne pepper, some anything like that, any spicy ingredients. Okay, now for the chicken, I did the exact same seasonings actually, and I cooked it in the oven at 350 until my meat thermometer said that it was fully cooked. So, okay, let's start on our tortillas. Okay, so we're gonna be making some clean tortillas. Now the base of this recipe is going to be almond flour. Now if you guys have never tried clean tortillas before, they're really good and it tastes a lot like an authentic corn tortilla. So I would suggest that you just give it a try. I got this recipe from the Diet Chef, and he is amazing. This recipe, I've made a lot of clean tortillas before, and they normally just fall right apart. So this recipe is so amazing. Okay, so we want 1 cup of almond flour. We're gonna be using 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Now, like I always say, you need to look for grain-free baking powder. Okay, this is Xanthan Gum. Now this is what holds the tortillas together so nicely. We're gonna be using 1 teaspoon of Xanthan Gum and 1 egg and just a pinch of salt. So I'm just gonna go like that. And then 1 teaspoon of water. Nope, 1 tablespoon of water, sorry. Now I'm just cooking this in my Ninja Chopper, which makes it really easy to make dough. Okay, there we go. Come on here. That was it. Wasn't that simple? Okay, so then I'm going to take some cling wrap and put the dough in here. Now we need to knead the dough for 2 minutes. The reason why we need to do that is we need to activate the Xanthan Gum. It's a little sticky. The reason why we're putting it in cling wrap is because it's a little sticky. So we're just gonna wrap that up like that. And I like to wrap it a few times because like I said, we need to knead the dough for 2 minutes. Now, once we knead the dough for 2 minutes, we are going to set it aside to rest for 15 minutes. So there we go. Okay, so now that the dough has rested, we're gonna just take off the saran wrap. Now it's in a ball, so we're gonna cut it into 4 pieces. Now this recipe only makes 4 tortillas. So if you have a big family like we do, I have to double the recipe or triple the recipe or quadruple the recipe because we love tortillas. Seriously though, I found this recipe just a few days ago and I've already made it like 6 times. Okay, so now we're gonna put it in between some parchment paper. I'm gonna lean against the parchment paper so that it doesn't slide around. I'm gonna gently press into a tortilla shape. You can also use a tortilla press if you have one. Now, another good thing with this recipe is that you can get it super, super thin. And the thinner, the better. Some tortilla recipes, you shouldn't do it that thin because they fall apart. That is why I love this recipe. It doesn't fall apart. Okay, so this is the top of a pan of mine. I'm just gently cutting around the outside of it, and it has a perfect tortilla shape. And look at this. See, a lot of them, like I said, they fall apart. This one, you can hold it in your hands and it's totally stays together. Okay, let's go throw this on the stove. Okay, so I just put a little olive oil on the bottom of my pan. You can use any type of oil that you would like though. It's all perfectly fine. Now you're gonna notice when it's cooking that it's gonna start to get a different color and just small bubbles will start to raise on it. And then we'll flip it. You don't need it dark on both sides and it will still work out great. Okay, so with regular flour tortillas, you'll see some really large bubbles coming up, but since this is with the almond flour, it's just really, really subtle. Now, if you feel like you're turning it over too soon, it's okay to check. This tortilla will be totally fine if you peek at it halfway through. Look at that nice golden. Now, if you want it less golden than that, it will still work out great. Okay, so my Instapot beef is finished. Look at how much this is just falling apart. Oh my goodness, this is awesome. Looks so good. So you just want to pull it out and just shred it. The juices are still coming out of this, so it looks really, really good. Now you can also use this meal, this beef. You could put it on top of some cauliflower rice. You could put it with some potatoes, maybe some sweet potatoes. So this would be a great meal for later on in the week also. Now, I wish I would have done my chicken in the Instapot because chicken in the Instapot shreds so nicely also. So if you want to just do one meat, and if you want to do the chicken, do it in the Instapot because it will shred just as nicely. All right, that looks good. Okay, I'm gonna set that aside and grab our chicken. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut this chicken. Maybe I'll just cut one piece for you. Now, you can also use chicken throughout the week, maybe on a salad. If you're making yourself a lunch and you want something to add to it, some protein, this is good. You could also give it to your kids for a snack, little slices of cooked chicken. Okay, depending upon how you want it for your tacos would be how you would cut it. I'll just give it a little bit more. All right, let's assemble our tacos. All right, get that out of the way. Okay, well, I'm gonna do beef tacos because this beef just looks so amazing. You know, sometimes I just put way too much beef in the taco, so hopefully I only have a little bit there. I get too excited. Now, these tacos are like the perfect little street taco size. Little sour, little cheese, and a little dollop of sour cream. All right, there it is. Delicious. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my clean taco recipe. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure that you do that. And also give this video a like. Bye.